Well, you can probably tell by driving around, seeing campaign signs on corners. It's election season. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Kenny. Early voting starts Monday in the Brazos Valley, giving you 2 weeks to hit the polls and cast your ballot before Election Day. But voters, beware, you'll need an acceptable form of photo ID this year. KAGS HC News reporter Jenny Walsh joined us now in studio. And Jenny, you've looked into the rules of this new voter ID law.
That's right, Amanda. This is the first year for the new voter ID law. In the past, voters simply had to show their election ID certificate and that got them their votes. But this year, that's not the case, leaving some voters happy and others not so much. By the campaign signs on nearly every corner, it's easy to tell what time of year it is. Election time. More specifically, time for early voting.
You don't have the crowds, and you can vote in any of the 5 places.
Voter Barry Clark says that's why he votes early. But this year, voting requires some additional identification. Voters have to show one of 6 forms of picture IDs.
I think it's a mistake. It discourages people from voting. There's quite a few people who don't have required IDs.
But there are other voters who think the new law is a good thing, weeding out people who aren't registered or vote multiple times.
And I think somebody having to prove they are who they say they are is a must.
Now, it is a must for everyone voting in Brazos County.
They're verifying that this is a citizen. It is someone who has been vetted through the voter registration system.
A lot of the acceptable forms of ID most of us carry in our wallets every day, like your Texas driver's license or personal identification card. Other forms include an election ID certificate, concealed handgun license, military ID card, or U.S. passport.
These IDs not be expired for longer than 60 days on the day that they vote.
And whether you like the new rules,
If we don't have a good system to identify the voter that's coming in, then that person potentially go somewhere else and vote again.
or not,
I think it places an undue burden on them.
to make your vote count, you have to follow them. Now, if you don't have any of the accepted IDs we mentioned, your best bet is to get an election ID certificate from the local DPS office as soon as possible. Remember, you can vote at any polling place during early voting, but only your assigned place on Election Day. For a list of early voting dates and times, head over to KAGSTV.com.